Donald Trump, by the way, was speaking about the world at his Wildwood, New Jersey rally. I think he had 100,000 people. Cut number 8.
Crooked Joe has not just set our economy on fire, he has truly set the world on fire. If you want to know how a weak and pathetic president really is, I mean, the things they do, just think about this. This week he announced that he will withhold shipping weapons to Israel as they fight to eradicate Hamas terrorists in Gaza. No, it was shocking to hear it. Even while there are still American hostages being held by Hamas. And they're saying, oh, October 7th never happened. You know, they say that. And Biden has fallen for it. Crooked Joe's action is one of the worst betrayals of an American ally in the history of our country. I support Israel's right to win its war on terror. Is that okay?
That is very okay. One of the people whom is reported to be on the former president's shortlist for Vice President Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. He was on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan yesterday. Cut number 20.
Look, I think Prime Minister Netanyahu and other senior Israeli leaders have acknowledged they have responsibility for the failures on October 7th. And they've said, as is the Israeli custom, when this war is over, there'll probably be a commission of inquiry to figure out exactly what went wrong to ensure it doesn't happen again. But President Trump said just last night that he would absolutely provide Israel with the weapons they need to finish the job. This would have never happened on President Trump's watch. It didn't happen on his watch. Well, and if he were president, this war would have probably already been over with much less civilian suffering in Gaza because he would have backed Israel to the hilt from the beginning.
I'm going to play 2 more cuts. I want you to listen to Margaret Brennan arguing with her guest because she does not like the truth that an arms embargo has been imposed by Joe Biden on Israel. The blowback against Biden has been enormous. But listen for the argumentative nature here. Cut number 21.
You know that past presidents have withheld military aid to Israel to force changes in behavior. President Reagan did that. President Bush did that. Why do you have a problem with President Biden doing it?
Well, first off, when you talk about the principle and the spirit of U.S. law, it sounds to me like they're not talking about the letter of U.S. law because Tony Blinken's own report concluded they did not violate U.S. law. Ronald Reagan's decision to pause the delivery of fighter jets in the 1980s was totally different from what's happened here. Israel is fighting a war of survival against a terrorist group that committed the worst atrocity against Jews since World War II. In the 1980s, an Israeli ambassador had been targeted for assassination. Ronald Reagan knew that the pause of fighter jets would not interfere with Israel's fighting because they had plenty of fighters. He did not pause munitions. Joe Biden is not sending munitions in the middle of a shooting war that's a war of survival. And look at the broader context. Israel knew that Ronald Reagan had its back in the region. He sank half of Iran's navy. Joe Biden has consistently given Iran hundreds of billions of dollars of sanctions relief that exactly funded groups like Hamas and Hezbollah.
They dispute that, and they are still sending weapons.
No, cut 22, quick.
He's imposed a de facto arms embargo on Israel and sanctions on Israelis.
They're sending weapons this weekend. It's not an arms embargo.
He just said last week that he's not going to send offensive weapons. We have no idea what he's going to withhold.
That was, as we just exchanged with Secretary Blinken, not a very clear statement. In that CNN interview, Democrats have said that. But what Blinken said there was it was just that one single shipment.
So stop. I'll play Senator Cotton's roundhouse response after the break. But you hear, oh, no, Senator Cotton, no, it's not an embargo. Don't believe what you heard and saw. Believe what Tony Blinken just said to me. It's not an arm. It's argumentative. They are trying to protect and prop up a failed presidency.